What's up YouTube? My name's Quickie, welcome back to the channel. It's typical, isn't it? The bank holiday weekend just finishes and you come in the following day and then all your stuff has turned up. So I've got all the shims, bar 4. The 2.4s, they're the ones that was on back order. I had a message through from Mr Matey today saying that they're not going to get them until the, I want to say 5th of May, something like that. And then he's got to get them down to me, so that's just going on, just ages. So I've binned off that order because Jamie reckons he can get 4 of them locally, which would be ideal. He's been doing some ringing around by the sounds of things. The other thing that's turned up is the sump gasket. We did use that instant gasket goo just because this hadn't turned up. And I thought, well, if it works, doesn't it? It's all tight, that'd be fine. It didn't, it leaked. So all the sump has got to come off and this has got to get shoved on it. So that is probably what I'm going to have a go at today. However, to get the sump off, that means the exhaust, the oil cooler, the radiator, all the stuff that I put on the other day has all got to get shifted. But that's what I'm doing. Right. Now, can I just loosen all this? Or has it all got to come off? I know it's got oil in there. I'm going to need to drain that, haven't I? Yeah. Right. I did shove some oil in it just to see if it was all tight, which is just as well that I did really, because it ain't. So all that has got to come out. Other way. Right. Alright, so that's the oil coming out. Where's my rag? We'll have the oil filter out as well because I think the centre spigot on that goes all the way through into the cases. So he'll have to come out as well. And I'm just wondering if I can get all this off without having to like fully remove the radiator and oil cooler, and you know, if I can leave it all plumbed together and stuff, or whether it's all got to come apart, I don't really know. But we'll give it a bash and we'll see what's what. Right, so you can drain. Let's get the oil filter. Right, to get that cap off, the oil filter, the exhaust has got to come off because it's in the way by about 15 mil. Right, so is this all gonna just lean forwards? I don't know. There's the old gasket. Basically we put a film of that goo on this face and reused the old gasket. And there are voids in it all the way around. So it's just a stupid way of doing it really. Right. Let's get all this goo off. We'll give it a proper clean up. Stick a new gasket on it and we should be good. But all this needs a proper clean up again. Right. Where's my Stanley blade? Well, in the past when I've done covers and I've not been able to get a gasket, like on the blade, on the clutch cover gasket, I just used goo. I didn't reuse the old, the old gasket, even if it was intact as this one was. There's no cracks in it or anything else. It's just the surfaces, it was uneven where it had been pulled up. So, I don't know, we might have had better luck if I'd have just used goo and not the old gasket. But we've got a new one now anyway. The intention was always just to replace it with a new one, so there you go. Lesson learned, don't do it again. I am trying to do things properly, but occasionally, when you ain't got the stuff that you need to do the job, you know, I'm up for the odd shortcut. Even though it is a habit I'm trying to get out of, I just get a bit too impatient. Oh, Mr. Man in a different van. I shouldn't have done it in the first place. Should have just waited. But you know, lesson learned, as they say. About as clean as he's gonna get. Dowels and O-rings. Make sure nothing's got on that. These are good. Right, so now I just got to refit it. This time without any goo. Right, I think we's all good. I do think we's all good. Right, so the sump is all back on with a new gasket. Sump plugs in, you know, couple washers, but I did have to reuse a couple, but you just anneal them, that's fine. Filter and all that lot is back in. Cleaned all the O-rings up. So now we're just going to do exactly the same as we did before, which will be good. So I'm just going to dump some oil into the bottom of the sump. And I just want to see if we get any leaks. I did go over all the underside of this with just carb cleaner, just because it's really good at getting grease and stuff off. And it's all been wiped down with blue paper and all that sort of stuff. So it's bone dry, so if I get any leaks, I should be able to tell where they're coming from. But I just want to see if we fix the leak or not. I'm hoping the new gasket's going to do it, if I'm honest. Should be fine. come on. Alright, there we go. Maybe a little bit more, eh? Right, there's nothing coming out the bottom yet. Not yet anyways, but then again it did take a little bit of time last time round, didn't it? So, time is chipping on. It is now 20 to 1 and I should have left 10 minutes ago, but there you go. I'm not going to bother shoving the radiator and the oil cooler and the exhaust back on until I know that's oil tight. So I'm just going to leave it overnight. I'll be back in the morning. We'll have a look, see, and if all is good, then all that other stuff can go on. And then, well, it's either going to be shims or brakes, isn't it? Haven't heard from Jamie yet as to whether he could get these 2.4s that I'm after. If he can, and I can get them, then all the top of the engine's getting sorted. So we do all the valve gaps and all that. If not, I am probably going to turn my attention to brakes, I think. I mean, I need to get the wheels out to get the tyres swapped over anyway. That's going to be interesting. Because that means holding 2 bikes up at a time. We'll figure it out. What was that? Oh, it's the exhaust gasket. So yeah, I think I'm probably going to have a go at the brakes. The back one was all painted up and everything else, looking lovely, and then Jamie went to bleed it and he snapped off part of the casting where the bleed nipple goes. So it has got a full service kit and new shoes in it, so I'm probably just going to have that lot out and stick it in the replacement caliper that I've got. The fronts, I don't think he's looked at. The pads, but they're just grubby as hell. So I've ordered a service kit for them. So that's like all the, you know, oil seals and all that malarkey. New nipples and blah, 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 blah. I've also got a couple of stainless pins coming. I don't know if you did the one on the back, but I've got 2 more coming for the front, and I've got some brand new brake pads as well. So what will probably happen is the brakes will all come off. The replacement rear is going to need to be painted anyway. The front ones look a bit tatty, so they're probably going to get shot blasted and painted as well. And then we just sort of go from there, really. But then hopefully I'll get the shims and we can get the top of the engine sorted. And we're getting really close to firing it up, really close. But we'll just have to see how we go. So anyway, another day, bit more progress, but that's where I'm leaving it for this one. Thank you ever so much for watching. Do hope you're well and staying safe. We'll see you on the next one. Laters.